everybody. Today we're talking about credit. That dreaded thing, credit. But it's so important in so many aspects of your life. So stay tuned. We're getting started right now. So welcome back, y'all. My name is Debbie Dobbins. I am your host for this episode of Your Wichita Falls. And today we're talking about credit. Oh my goodness. I have conversations about credit constantly, not just on a daily basis, constantly. And the fact of the matter is that there's a lot of people out there that understand credit. They have good credit and they know how they got it because they make their payments on time. But there's people out there that all the time say certain things to me. I'm going to give you some key buzzwords because of what is available on Credit Karma and on some of those websites that you get with your credit cards. So I wanted to clear up all the myths about credit and tell you the straight scoop and see if you can get yourself in a position, especially if you'd like to get your credit score up, or in the alternative, you want to maintain your credit score because it's already fabulous. So let's get started. The very first thing that I want to say about credit is you can use any of those online consumer credit reports to get a general idea of what your credit score is. A general idea. Now, I will tell you that that is not your true credit score. Your true credit score you cannot get unless you are a credit provider, either a car place, a mortgage person. Sometimes if you get a rental service, if you're a landlord, you can get somewhat similar scores. But what I want to explain is the algorithm for a consumer credit report, which is Credit Karma, what you get from your Chase Bank or any of your credit cards or those types of entities are not your true score, because their algorithm is different and their scoring model is higher because they take less into consideration. So if you see a score on your algorithm, it's highly likely that your score may be up or down from there because they're not going to take into consideration the exact things that the credit agencies, TRW, TransUnion, Equifax, take into consideration. That's number one. But it's a good place to start. So you can get updates and see where, if your score is going up, your score is going down. I'm on Credit Karma. They send me something, it seems like every other day. And the only reason that I keep it there is because I like to be notified if there's any major changes, which frankly, they're all lagging. They're all lagging. Let's say that you had a credit card of $5,000 and you're making regular payments on it and you paid that credit card off today. It's not going to show up on your credit report for at least 30 days, probably 60 days from now, because your credit card company reports at certain times to the credit bureaus, and then the credit bureaus actually do something with it with respect to your score. It's a very long, arduous process. However, if you have connections with somebody like me or other individuals that can run credit directly with the credit bureaus, you can get what's called a rapid rescore, which is one of the greatest things that you can have accessibility if you're trying to improve your credit. And that is, let's say you did that exact thing with paying off a $5,000 credit card, which could substantially impact your credit with the score, especially if you had a $5,000 available balance and you had $5,000 charged on it. That really lowers your score because the algorithms don't like it when you use all of your available credit. So you could potentially increase your score 20 to 40 points just by paying that card off and not see the benefit of it for 60 plus days. If you did a rapid rescore, you could see it in 48 hours. Woohoo! So anything that you can do on your credit report to increase your score can be done and rescored immediately. So that's one benefit that I will share with you that we do as a mortgage lender. But the other thing that's important to know is not only is your credit score impacted by balances on your available account. So if you've got an available line of credit of $5,000 and you use up more than 1/3 of that, it exponentially starts to press down on your credit score. So number one, availability of credit, that's something that goes into the algorithm. Obviously, on-time payments. On-time payments are so important. I can't even say so enough, because on-time payments, 30-day late on anything, credit card, car payment, house payment, anything, is so impactful on your credit. It can reduce your score 20 to 60 to 80 points, depending on what it is. One 30-day late. What's a 30-day late? Oh, by the way, a 30-day late is when your creditor says you're due on the 1st and you pay on the 2nd of the next month. That's 30 days. So if your credit card company says your payment is due on the 10th and you pay on the 11th of the next month, that's 30 days late. Now, most creditors will give you a grace period, but the fact is that a lot of people take that grace period just a little too far. You go one day over that 30-day late, or you go one day over that time frame of 30 days, you get a 30-day late. Now, what's worse is that sometimes people will get 30 days behind and you get 30-day late, but then you keep doing that over and over and over. So we call it a rolling 30-day late. So then you've got 30 days in March, 30 days in April, 30 days in February, March, April, May. What, you know the months. So if you start to get into a rolling late scenario, it really starts to impact your credit scores. So once you get into that cycle, the best thing you can do is get yourself out of it as quickly as possible, because it takes another 12 months, literally, for your credit to start to repair itself from lates. So you absolutely want to start paying attention to, do you have any lates on your credit report? If you do, start to correct them immediately. And so now we've talked about your balances. Keep those balances within 1/3 of what your available balance is. Even if you go out and get 6 credit cards, if they're all below that 1/3 threshold, you're going to increase your credit score faster than you would if you just made regular on-time payments. Now, I will be honest with you, I have one credit card that I love because it gives me airline miles. So I'm constantly running that up. But all the other credit cards have 0 balances on it because I charge it up and then pay it off. But if I miss that month, it will show that I've extended myself to almost 100% of my available balance. And that does not help the algorithm. So this algorithm is essentially looking at the balances, because in historical perspective, it's taking into consideration that people that extend themselves to the maximum available credit are in trouble. Now, you may not be, and you may not believe that you are, but that is the historical activity of people that extend themselves on their credit cards. So one thing you can do is, as I said, lower your balances, make no late payments, 0 late payments. If you go 12 months, literally, start where you are now. You go 12 months with no late payments. Keep your balances below 1/3, no matter how many cards you have. And you remove, meaning pay off or get them to remove with a discounted price, collection accounts. Your credit score can improve over 100 points to 150 points in one 12-month period, which is absolutely phenomenal, because most people think they get so discouraged by looking at their credit scores. And the fact is that you can do it if you pay attention. Now, the best piece of advice that I can possibly give to you at this point about your credit is, and I say this over and over and over, is that light overcomes darkness. So if you're in a dark room, you're not going to get any better by just trying to remove the dark. You can't remove darkness. So if you've got negative credit, you can't necessarily remove the negative credit. You're not going to remove late payments. Sometimes you can't even remove your collection accounts because they're too big, or you can't find the creditors, or any number of reasons. So we'll just say it, we'll just leave it at that. But if you are in a dark room and you add a little sliver of light, it starts to begin to light the whole room. And credit is exactly like that. If you shine light, which is good credit, onto your credit report, it will begin to open up, become lighter, become bigger as a credit score, and show you the pathway to being a good credit borrower, so that you can either buy a car, buy a house, enjoy those things. And I'm not advocating extending of credit, but certain things people really enjoy in their life that can't be paid for by cash. I would like to pay for everything with cash, and sometimes you just have to put a mortgage on your house or a car loan on your car. But in the end, what you get is by shining that light. So what is light in credit? Good credit. Good credit is light in credit darkness. So all you have to do is shine that good credit onto that credit report. Well, let's say you don't have any good credit right now. You can go out, if you got only collections on your credit, paying off those collections is not going to get your credit score up, because what you need to do is have good credit. So there's a thing called a secured credit card. If you're just in the beginning and you really need to repair your credit, go out and get a secured credit card. Actually get 2 or 3. These are just little cards. Generally, they don't have more than a $300 balance available. You actually give the creditor, the credit card company, $300 of your very own hard-earned money. So instead of using an ATM at this point or a debit card, you're going to use your secured credit card. So you go out there, get this secured credit card for $300, charge your gas, your groceries on it. Make sure that you pay it every month, but pay it down to $10 or $20, which is well below that 1/3 threshold. So if you had 3 of these secured credit cards and over a 12-month period, you charged, but you paid it down each month, because you're going to pay for those things anyways, right? You're going to pay for gas and groceries. But if you did that over 12 months, your credit score will go up at least 60 to 100 points. I assure you. It's absolutely phenomenal to shine that light. That's just with secured credit cards. If you have a car loan, which is an installment loan, a personal loan, which is an installment loan, those also raise your credit score very, very quickly with on-time payments. So I just wanted to give a little insight today about credit, because it's so vitally important to so many things in your life, and it gives you a sense of freedom. Because if you have no way to extend credit for yourself, and everyone doesn't have a nest egg. I wish everyone did, but it's not one of those things that we've been taught or practiced in this particular time of our lives. And so it's so important that you have this emergency. If you have a credit card, if you've established credit and then you have a credit card that's got an availability of a few $1,000s, when that car blows out on the freeway like mine did the other day, you have the ability to pay for it without having to go delinquent on bills, without having to not pay your rent, without having to pay the electric bill. There's so many things that credit, not using it extensively, but having it as a backup, is so important to give you a sense of freedom. So if you'd like to know more about credit, how to improve your credit, how to see using your own credit report how you can get that score up, how you can rescore it, please schedule a Zoom meeting with the first comment link below, and I will be happy to share with you everything and anything that I know about credit. So, as I always say, y'all come back now, you hear? Bye-bye.